how's it going? Got another traffic video for you. It's a bit of a rainy one too, so this will be interesting. Lots of traffic today. But anyway, today I have an interesting topic, or kind of a touchy topic for a lot of people. There's a lot of videos about this and a lot of opinions. So um, today's topic is going to be about living with your parents in your 20s. Um, and how it can actually be very, very beneficial, right? A lot of people say that, hey, if you're living with your parents in your 20s, like especially late 20s, it's a bad thing. And I think it just depends. It really just depends because if you have the right mindset, I think this could be a game changer for you, right? It can be a game changer. So I'll kind of give you my experience with this. I lived with my parents till 25. So basically, I completed college. I had, did all of that. Saved a ton of money on basically housing and those expenses that you have there. But I always had the mindset that I wasn't with my parents because I was lazy or because I didn't want responsibilities. I was there because they not only they offered the opportunity, um, and also I wasn't there because I was supporting them. That's another thing. Like they didn't want me to stay because they needed my support. Basically, I just talked to them and let them know, hey, like these are my future goals. This is what I want to do by the age of 30. And I think one way to get there is by with your support, and they were all for it. And it's also more common in Hispanic families. Like it's not as like crazy, right? If you're still living with your parents at age 25, like it's pretty common, especially if you're not married. Obviously, if you're married, that's a whole another story that does not different story for another day. But anyway, I had that mindset. Okay, I was like, I'm not gonna waste these years, like these years after high school. I want to take full advantage of. I'm not going to be partying every weekend and then waking up Sunday mornings to have my mom feed me. Right? No, that was not the goal. The goal was to save as much money as possible. That was the ultimate goal. I had the whole time I was living there. I had a job or I was studying, one of the two. Okay. So I had that mindset, and then I also had the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna leave my parents' house, and when I do, it's because I've bought a house or I'm married, one of the two, right? Or both, right? In my case, it was both. I actually bought the house first, and then a few months later, I we had a wedding. So at 25, I had already built this really nice nest egg, right? A really really nice nest egg. I had savings for not only a down payment for a nice house, but I would also have savings for like an emergency or just my daily living expenses. I never asked outside of the housing expenses that my parents cover. I never asked for a single dollar for anything else, including college, right? Including college, I was able to cash flow college. I was able to buy a house right out of my parents. Um, so the other side of the story is those individuals that are still with their parents, but they don't have that mindset of like saving as much as possible and grinding as much as possible. Instead, they're in their mom's basement playing video games, and that's where I think it becomes a touchy topic because I do believe that at that point someone should be out of the house. Like, okay, you actually need this so you can start getting some responsibilities, right? For me, it was like, okay, I'm living with my parents, but I was pretending like I had massive expenses at the end of the month, every month. Instead, it was just money going into my savings accounts, into my investment portfolios, and ultimately, I ended up using a lot of that money to buy a house. But at the same time, when I was with my parents, the other things I did, I was buying silver, I was buying gold, I bought land too for like $50,000. So again, it was just a strategy that my family helped me with. They were cool with it, and they were not doing a disservice to me because they knew that I was taking advantage of that. So yeah, that's my message for the day. I think this topic again, it can be touchy, but it just really depends on the mindset that you have. So if you're younger, if you're in your 20s, or if you're 20, 21, this is a great strategy to make a lot of money and save a lot of money. But if you just want your parents so that they can feed you, so that they can fold your clothes, it can actually be a bad strategy because you're going to get used to a lifestyle that's not really, uh, it's not really true, right? Eventually, you're going to have to go on your own, and you're going to have to uh, have your own responsibilities. And the longer you wait, the harder that's going to get. You're just going to get older, and it's just going to become harder. So, what I would say is have the right mindset, make money, save money, take advantage of every single day you can stay with your parents. Also, enjoy your family while you're there. I spent a lot of times with a lot of time with my siblings, with my parents. I don't regret any of it, right? So it's all love. I thank you so much for listening to my video, and please subscribe, like my videos, so I can get some audience. So thank you again. Appreciate you. Bye.